Hello. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, we filmed a little intro on the way from the field, and Dan was saying his speech, and it was awesome. And then we listened to it, and you couldn't hear anything because it was windy, so we have to redo this.
I'm trying to remember what I said. What did we do? Oh yes, yeah. We went into school with Luna and just sort of worked her on the flat. Did lots of pole work. Did lots of exercises to get her using her back legs more and moving away from my leg a little bit.
And then she had a little haircut.
Yes, she had her mane done, her forelock done, her tail and her fetlock done.
And that's what you're gonna see. For poop in the walker.
So this is going to be a little voiceover video of Luna in the school the other day. We mostly worked on just some poles and, like you're seeing here, like moving away from my leg. So I'm trying to do a little bit of turn on the forehand here, just because she's a bit numb to my legs sometimes, so I'm just trying to get her just to react in using different things so she listens to my leg. She's getting better at them. She's only just started. I think this is her first time. You can see her tail's going a bit. I'm having to use my hand to help her a little bit as well. I do warm her up in draw-reins just because she's a horse that holds herself quite tight in her back. This also helps with what I'm doing now, so I'm reining her back. I do a lot of this because it really helps to open up her back behind the saddle, which again helps to relax her a little bit. I don't ride her in draw-reins all the time because she is only 6 years old, and I never use them really tightly or anything like that. You'll see as well as she goes on, she's not the most consistent horse in the mouth, like she's very fussy in the mouth. I've gone through about 5 or 6 bits with her already. This is the best one that she's been in, really. She's very sensitive and doesn't like to put any pressure on the reins, so she will never be a horse that's strong or pulling me forward, I don't think, but this is the best she's been in this bit. So, I mean, her canter is enormous, but it's just trying to balance it. When I first bought her, I fell off her on the third ride because we cantered around the corner and she fell over because her canter is just so huge and she can't balance herself half the time. She's getting there now. It's starting to feel really nice, but it's still got a long way to go, I think. Cantering round. This range she tends to bring her quarters to the inside in canter, which is just something that she's going to have to improve on. Where she's quite weak, I think it's easier for her to go slightly sideways. And here I'm in light seat, trying to get her to use her back a little bit more. Again, you can see her there with her mouth a little bit inconsistent. here, I've just started to teach her walk to canter, so that was a bit of a fail there. And again here, she gets it, but it's a little bit messy. Since then, she's got much better, and it's much easier now. I use that to get her stronger in her hind legs. And what I spend most of my time just trying to get her to use her back legs correctly. She had an injury recently, she's still coming back from that. She's just started jumping again now actually. And that injury sort of made her a little bit weak in her back end because it was a muscle tear. So she's still finding out how to use her muscles correctly again. Here we are taking the jaw reins off and seeing how she goes without them. Still opening and closing the mouth all the time. It is much better than it used to be. Now getting a feel without the jaw reins again. So we're going to start with the poles now. She's not the most careful horse. For a show jumper, she's terrible at pole work. I don't do an awful lot of it really, actually. I should do more. It's just, again, if you watch her back legs, it's just getting her to push from behind a little bit more. As you can see there, she's shuffling around a little bit normally, and then when we get to the poles, she really steps up over them. Again, over the poles, so we're looking at her straightness now, right over the middle stripe. She's a little bit wobbly, but that's not too bad. And here, I started to do this funny exercise. This is literally just to get her to relax in her back and use her back legs correctly. So when I bring her really slow, I think I do it now. Yeah, so I'm bringing her back now, and you can see her back legs go a little bit stuffy, so she doesn't really know what to do with her back legs when I ask her for this. And then when she finally gets it, I let her go forward and I push her forward. She's starting to really push and round through her back when I ask her for it. So you can see I'm giving my rein forward there when she's softening, because I want her to realise I'm not going to be fiddling with the mouth too much. And then here I push her forward, and she fights me a little bit in that one. I think I do it again. I try and keep my hands really still with her, just because where she is so fussy in the mouth, I'm trying to give her a platform to work from really. But it is hard when her mouth's opening and closing and her nose is going all over the place. So again, here I've brought her back really slow, and she's relaxing a bit more of her back there. You can see her muscles sticking out of her neck. And then I push her forward, and that was much better. So she takes a couple more bigger steps, which is all I'm asking for at the moment. So here, it just looks, it's more of a feeling I get, but here she's taking much better steps, I think. And her neck's much more rounded. Over the poles again. Again, mouth open, tongue out, being typical Luna. So then to cool her off, if I've done pole work and I've got the poles out, I always like to walk over them. I think it's good for her really, it's good for their back legs to do that. It's harder to walk over poles than trot. So yeah, not a bad session. So I'm hoping to scissor it, if I think it looks better. Scissor it ideally about there, at least half the length really. I like it quite short, so I don't flatten. Short.
Drew Carey in Dumb and Dumber.
No, it's not. Okay. Stop. No.